Hey, it's your girl, Morticia Sherman, that unapologetic therapist, here on this amazing Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, of course. During the season of gratitude. Thanksgiving is one of my favorite days, even though I really don't eat traditional Thanksgiving dinner, but I love turkey. But it's a season of gratitude that I love about Thanksgiving, giving gratitude towards those loved ones, those here, those gone, those to come, those in the future. Um, I am just really grateful for the people in my life. I'm grateful for my small circle. I'm grateful for my circle outside of my small circle. I have three circles. I always say my priority circle, my secondary circle, and the third circle is those who I know will come in and out of my life, but they serve a purpose when they do. And it's up to me to allow them to come in at that time in my life if I really want them to be a part. So I know my hair is pinned up. I was in California with the grandbaby, just enjoying her. Um, I just told my daughter, I was like, one thing I don't want to ever watch again, not no time soon, is Toy Story, all four episodes, one, two, three, and four, because my granddaughter, um, how I knew she wanted to watch Toy Story was she said, "Friend in Me." So she had this song that's so deep in her, and I love that story, that song about Toy Story. You have a friend in me. Well, as your unapologetic therapist, you have a friend in me, and it doesn't go any further than that. What we talk about is what we talk about. But I also had a hot topic conversation with quite a few people about therapy and the fear of people wanting to have a therapist. We are not bullies. We're not walking around with fangs. We're not walking around like we're going to tell all your business to everybody and this and the other. Let's be real. Come on now. Let's be real. Let's be realistic about the whole situation. A therapist is your person, your go to person that's going to help you navigate through life, navigate through things that you otherwise would have problems navigating through. You know, we can't go back to when grandma said this and when auntie said that and when uncle said this and when grandfather said that. But we want to be able to navigate through life knowing that what we're doing and what we're processing is to the benefit of us. Now I have a special guest that's coming on tonight. Excuse me, I gotta do a cough drop because I'm still with these Texas allergies that I learned about in California while I was there with my granddaughter. I want to go far beyond what people talk about when it comes to therapy. I am very, and I say this with all due respect, I am very unapologetic in my delivery, true enough, with mental health, but I do it in unconditional love. And if it bothers you to talk about mental health, then find out what it is. What's the situation where you can't sit down and talk to somebody about being healthy mentally, not just financially, not just physically. All of that equates to mental health. If your mental is not healthy, nothing else will be healthy. I'm telling you right now. If your mental is not healthy, nothing else will be healthy because then you're going to start pushing towards, creating these things that you're doing as vices. Like when they say workaholics, when somebody's being a workaholic, they're being a workaholic because they're pretty much blocking out something that they don't want to deal with at the time. When you talk about shopaholics, these things, the mental starts with the mind first. So that's why we are therapists. We actually, how I want to say, we finesse the mind. We help you be creative. We help you do things that needs to be done. We help you to navigate those emotions, navigate what's going on in life and how life is, like y'all say, lifing. I hate the rabbit ears, I do, but lifing. So when you come and talk to me, I'm like the song for Toy Story. You got a friend in me. So I go through therapy for experience. I gotta ask this one question. As a therapist, do I have a therapist? Yes, I do. Yes, 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 I do. Because I'm gonna tell you, there were some things in my life that transpired from a kid on up that I have to deal with, and I want to deal with them in the most healthiest way possible. Because whomever's in my life should not have to deal with the trauma that I dealt with because it's not fair to them. So, yes, I do have a therapist. So, if you're seeking to find me as your therapist, yes, I do see a therapist because I have to take up on a lot, seeing people and talking to them about what they are growing through. And I'm still growing through something myself. I'm still developing. I'm a business person. I'm an entrepreneur. So I talk to people about my entrepreneurship. I'm a minister. Yes, I still am an ordained minister and I love ministry. That is my passion. And I'm not true enough, I'm not in the edifice, but I have a relationship with God. I know I have a relationship with God. So without further ado, I hope she's in here with me. It is my person, my friend, my dear friend, my dear friend. She's pulling it together. It's Miss Chanel. Come on, girlfriend. How are you? How are you?
Good. How are you doing? Can you hear
I
me?
am. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay.
So let me give you my backstory about Miss Chanel. Chanel and I worked together, and we worked for this company. And the things that we would do and the things that we would talk about, you would swear that we were not in the mental health industry. We had
Yes.
conversation about some of everything. I mean, from what astrology to business ownership
To
to
life,
life.
everything,
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, and not knowing that Chanel was an artist, and I love art. I am so passionate about art, um, and I'm the type of when I take my hat off of being a therapist, I'm a good friend to where if you say, "Hey, I'm doing this," Chanel can vouch for me. I'm there. I'm going to be like,
Hmm.
"Hey, where is it? How much does it cost?" So I can be there to support. I love supporting people, and I don't support people because I want them to support me. I want to support people because I know they need support. So,
Right.
but Chanel and I worked in the mental health industry, and we
Hmm.
worked with children and parents. So
Right.
we got a chance to see adults. We started off with adults first, right? So
Right.
we went from adults, then we went to parents with children. And I want to say, what was the youngest we had? Was like three, almost.
Yeah, I think I want to say it was four.
Okay.
We had yeah, we had a child that was four in pre-K.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had an opportunity to see mental health on all different levels. So
Yes,
without
ma'am.
further ado, Miss Chanel, tell us about you, what's going on, because I know you have been venturing this art industry stuff for quite some time.
Yes.
Give us some of your background.
Well, my name is Chanel, and I am a veteran. I am also, like Morticia said, I work in the mental health field. I'm an advocate. I'm an artist. I'm a little bit of everything. Um, I'm originally from California, from the LA area, and I moved to Houston probably about 7 years now, 2018 or so. It's been a while. And when I first moved here, I was coming from a separation. I was getting divorced, and so everybody knows divorce is hard to get over.
Man.
Being with one person for 12 years, that is my whole life almost. So I had really had to really learn who I was again. So when I came to Houston, really was my new beginning, me trying to figure out who I was, trying to learn me again, trying to figure out what I already had my bachelor's degree, so I was really just trying to figure out what angle I want to go into. What was my niche? where would I most succeed at within the mental health field?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. I've had an opportunity to see some of your amazing artwork. And I remember right before you left the company and started venturing on your next endeavor, we were supposed to use, remember this huge canvas that I had so I can create an elephant's head, because I was like,
Yes,
Chanel,
that you
I
never
just
got
really
to
want this
me.
elephant. I was like, Chanel, I really want this elephant. I really want this elephant. And you was like, why? I said, because it's just the elephant has a great memory and just the power
Right.
of an elephant.
Right.
And I was like, okay, we're gonna do this canvas. We never got the chance to do it, but it's okay. We're gonna get a
Nope.
chance to do it.
One day. Listen,
Yeah,
life be life, and like you said earlier.
I know, and it's even with life, and we have to also take life and say, hey, I understand that you're life right now, but I need you to take a pause, and I need to sit back and be
Well,
still.
yeah.
Yeah, I need to sit
Well,
back and be.
that's why I love art though. Art and
Hmm.
therapy go together so well. It's
Yeah.
just because I think a lot of people have this stigma, these preconceived notions that therapy is you're telling your business to a stranger and they're judging you, and a lot of times people have a problem with telling their story verbally out loud.
Hmm.
And I love art because it just really allows you to kind of process those emotions in a non-verbal way, where you're not, reliving that trauma out
Hmm.
loud, but instead you're more so activating the mind and your right brain. And depending on what you're painting or what you're creating, you're also activating your left brain, and you're able to kind of process those emotions in a different way.
Right, right. And I know for me, I want to say art was a escape for me too, because
Mm-hmm.
I have so
Yep.
many art supplies, and I want to get back to my morning sessions or my evening sessions where I can sit outside and just paint, and just
Yes.
paint whatever I'm feeling at that time. Even though to
Mm-hmm.
someone who does not respect or like art, it'd be like an ugly piece, but to me, that's my masterpiece. I don't care if I just splash paint on the
Well,
canvas. It is what it is.
right,
So,
right.
mhm, yeah.
I think that's one
So,
of people's biggest misconceptions about art, though.
mhm.
Why when I mention art therapy to people, they're going, "Oh, well, I can't draw. I don't know how to do that. I can't do. It doesn't look as good as yours." And it's not about the aesthetics of the art. It's about the processing while you're creating the art. So, like
Exactly.
I said, imperfect is perfect in another person's eyes.
Mhm. Mhm. Exactly. Because
Very subjective.
I have some art pieces, and I want to take them out. Actually, I'm going to have them at the event. So, you guys, Chanel is a part of the event. She's actually doing our painting our trauma on a canvas. She's going to be the ones actually spearheading the idea, because we both, with being in the mental health industry, we know how much expressing yourself in a positive light, because you're so known to express yourself negatively when it comes to mental health. Expressing yourself in a positive light, just like Mozart, Picasso,
Mm-hmm.
those people express themselves through art, and they had mental health issues. A lot of people
Yes, they
don't know
did.
that. They don't know that these people had mental health issues. And back in the times when they had mental health issues, therapy was Sigmund Freud, Franklin, all of them, and they were taking Caucasian men who were having mental
Mm-hmm.
health issues to clinics, and they were actually doing real torture on them to find out what it was that was causing them to do the things that they were doing. I'm talking about like the ball in the mouth, the drilling in the
Mm-hmm.
head to find out what's going on.
Yep.
But these people were so creative. They were so collectively created. They were creative. They were talented, but people didn't know
Right.
that that was their form. There was their free form of expressing themselves
Right.
through art, through
Mm-hmm.
poetry, through music, through
Right.
when Picasso did the drawing on the ceiling, on the angels and
Right.
stuff, 'cause that's stuff that he saw.
Mm-hmm.
I say this
Right. Those are his
openly,
experiences.
right? So I used to say this
Mm-hmm.
working at the hospital that I was working at. When I saw people doing art, a lot of times we think that that's a fixation of their head, but that's actually stuff that they saw. You cannot
Right.
tell them
Right.
that they didn't see that. Like I used to make a joke, and I had this one this one joke where this lady, she said that she was having an alien baby. Well, I was like, well, who gonna pay the child support? I was like, it was an alien baby. We don't pay child support for UFOs. What's going
No,
on?
no, not at all.
But that was her truth. That's what she felt. That's what she felt like she was pregnant with an alien baby. So
Right. Right. She was
I
expressing
give
herself.
exactly. And I said to
Mm-hmm.
this, I respect people more who have a mental health issue than I respect those who are normal. The reason why, because they know they have an issue. The person who's normal is denying the fact that they have an
Mm-hmm.
issue. So you're
Right.
constantly in denial, but these people are like, hey, I know I'm seeing things. I know I'm hearing things. I know voices are talking to me.
Right.
I used to tell them all the time, if that voice talking to you, have a conversation with it, then tell it shut up. I know that I'm
Listen, make nice
right.
with it, okay?
Exactly. Which
Get
personality are
to
you
know
dealing with?
it.
Yeah, which
Right.
personality are you dealing with today? Who am I talking to today? So I know exactly
Exactly.
who I'm talking to. But I respect them for the fact that they knew, compared to somebody who's sitting up
Mm-hmm.
there and they just really deny the fact that they are experiencing something. We all do. To be honest, there are times when I heard something in my head and I'm like, you know what, shut up, because I don't hear voices. I don't do
Right, right, right. No, that's not me. But hey, listen, we're not gonna start today.
right. Not today. No. What you say?
Well,
Go
that's the
go.
thing, and that's the thing that they live in their truth.
Yeah.
They're authentically themselves, and so you can't. That's the only way you can respect somebody who respects themselves enough to be able to tell their truth without, feeling shame,
Yeah.
feeling pain. I mean, they may still feel the pain, but you'll never know. And that's a lot of those artists. They like you said, they had mental health issues, and they
Hmm.
were expressing themselves, but nobody really knew that a lot of them were in pain.
Yeah, exactly. And they were not. That's like you said, that is their truth. That's what they saw.
Right.
If they saw someone do something and you don't know the traumatic experience that they may have encountered, for them to even feel the way that they feel, they could have saw the loss of a loved one. They could have saw someone get murdered. They could have saw anything. They
Mm-hmm.
could have been raped, and it triggered them to go into a traumatic
Mm-hmm.
experience. So,
Right.
no,
Right.
that's why I said I honor them, because working in a facility, and I've found a lot of people have never had that experience of working inside of a mental health facility until
Yeah.
they either graduate with their masters in psychology counseling
Yeah.
or graduate. No, you actually need to go in one of these facilities and work there for a year.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, you'll have a different
Yeah.
respect for those who are out
Wait.
here experiencing that.
Right. And even so, maybe they can get out into the community. They can volunteer.
Yeah.
That's how I started in the mental health. I came from when I moved to Texas. I came from a small town where
Hmm.
it was difficult to get a lot of experience. So I started out as a child advocate. I volunteered my time once a month, once or twice a month. I went to court. I talked to the families. I volunteer. I got out into the community because you don't know what's out there and how to help others until you get out there and actually experience some of it and see it with your own eyes.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why I love this thing that we're doing. This
Mm-hmm.
telling your story on a canvas. You're painting your trauma on
Correct.
a canvas, and you're painting it according to how you see it, not according to how I
Right.
see it, not according to how Male sees it, but how do you see your trauma, and how can we take that trauma and turn it into something powerful, something that you can say
Your
that,
superpower.
hey, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
exactly,
Yeah. Yeah. A
exactly.
lot of people don't realize. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say a lot of people don't realize that there's actually recovery steps to trauma. And one of the last final steps is once you've become aware of it and you begin processing is to tell your story. You
Yeah.
know, take your power back, tell your story, and tell your story how that you want to tell your story, not how another person might have saw your story or depicted your story. And so that's what a lot of expression is, whether it be verbally or non-verbally. You're telling your story. You're taking back your power.
And I love that. I love the fact that you can
Hmm.
take back your power. And a lot of
Yes,
people
ma'am.
don't know how to express their voice and have their voice.
Yeah.
So when you can paint your trauma
Right.
on a canvas, when you can tell your story through a book, because last week I did a literary midwife, and we were talking about, writing your story in a book. It don't have to be a best-selling novel where it's about this big and all of this.
Right.
It's just really sharing your story with the audience that's willing to listen and hear, and you don't know
Right.
what the story and how that story can help and impact somebody else's life. So
Yes,
when you're
ma'am.
telling that story, may it be painting it on a canvas, may it be writing it in music, may it be standing before people talking about it, you don't
Hmm.
know who you may impact in doing so. We were placed
Right.
here to serve others. We were not placed here
Right.
to serve ourselves.
Nope.
So your story is to serve others. It's not to serve yourself.
Right.
So I
Right.
enjoy, that's why I said I give honor and I respect those who are in tune with the fact that, hey, I do suffer with depression. Hey, I do suffer with,
Right.
hey, I do hear voices. Not to say that I'm fully bipolar or schizophrenic, but what do I do?
Hmm.
How do I come about? Where can I get the help and the services? And I met a young man working in the agency that we work at. And I'm
Hmm.
not going to give them any kind of accolades, but for those who know where I work at, I met a young man, and I met a lot of artists. And
Hmm.
this young man drew a picture, and when he drew it, he was like, Miss Martisha, I don't even know what to title it. And as soon as
Right.
I looked at it, I titled it because I love art and I love
Right.
looking at it. And when I did that, he was like, I like that. I really like that. And it was for an art contest that they were doing. So
Hmm.
he painted what he felt on that
Right.
on that canvas.
Hmm.
And the painting was
And
so powerful.
right. And I'm sure you saw something different than what he actually had put on the canvas because
Exactly.
art is subjective. And I find it amazing that anytime I finish a painting and I show it to others and they're like, oh, I see this. And then another person saying, I see that. Another person saying, this person might find joy. Another person might find sadness. Another person might say, oh, I see rage over there. Depending on the way that it looks, especially when it comes to abstract. So everybody has their own depiction of what they see based off of their own experiences, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Mhm.
you had somebody to do that inside out with you, huh? Inside out
Oh, all
one
the
and inside
time.
out two.
All the time. They're like, oh, I see this face over there. I'm like, okay,
Yeah. I see
sure.
anger. I see sadness.
Right.
I see joy. I see
I,
pain.
listen, I find it very interesting. Very interesting. And it's not perfect. It's not pretty. It's a bunch of colors and symbols mixed together to make an image. And
Mhm,
then our mind depicts on what that image is going to be based off
mhm.
of, like I said, our experiences.
And that's why I want to keep that momentum about
Hmm.
what we're doing, the painting, the trauma on a canvas. That when I thought of that last year, and I was getting ready to do it for a retreat, and you and I were talking about that. I wanted to
Hmm.
do it as an uh, activity on at a retreat, and I was like, I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this going because a lot of people need to be able to freely express themselves in the best way that
Right.
they know how. Like I said, it don't necessarily have to be painting on a canvas. It can be writing,
Mm-mm.
poetry. It can be music,
Mm-hmm.
writing a song. A lot of songs that are out there, and I want to say go back to R&B and country. A lot of
Yes.
the songs that are out there come from experience. They come from things
Right.
that a person experienced and they wrote it on a paper and they just added music to it. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going to get into the fact of who I like the most because some people, I have an ear for music too. And in that ear
Mm-hmm.
for music, I'm like, you know what? You didn't go through that. And I try not to be biased. I try not to be
Now
biased.
we can't judge other people's experiences.
Yeah, you know you didn't go through that.
Sometimes people write other people's stories though too.
They do. They do. I had to learn that.
That has a
I
lot.
had to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
if I know somebody who can sing a song very well, but I wrote my pain on that song and I wanted somebody to sing it
Right.
because they can really get the song in there and out there to the people like I want them to get it out there too. I get that.
Right. They can express it the way that your vision. They can express your vision better than you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, because I've been a
Mm-hmm.
song the song be crying at the same time. The people won't even be able to hear the lyrics.
You don't want me to sing anything, okay? Listen, you gonna be crying to hear me singing. I'm not singing anything. But that's what a lot of songwriters they write their pain. Like I think it was Usher in Confessions. That
Yeah.
song, the song talking about that's not even about him. That is about
No.
Jermaine Dupri.
Exactly. Exactly. But Usher
But
was the
he
one.
did very well.
Yeah. And he did it very well. He did. He did
He
do
did.
that.
He did.
So and
He
and,
did.
and that goes back to your craft. I respect your
Right.
craft so much. And like I said, I had an opportunity to go and see you promote your craft. I
Mm-hmm.
forgot what that was. I was able to go to and it was really nice to see what you do and how you put it together because that's what you see. And I was able to
Right.
see it too. And a lot of other people were able to see it. And there were a lot of other people out there at the location that was doing
Mm-hmm.
artwork and whatnot. Like I didn't, the ashtrays made out of body parts. And I was like, ooh, is that what you saw?
Different, right? Very
Right.
creative.
Right, very creative. I was like, I would have. I'm not your audience, but I see where you're going with that.
Right, right. Everybody has their audience. Yes, I agree. I
Right,
agree. That's the
right.
best thing about it, though. Too. It's just, it's very diverse. Very
It
diverse,
is.
and it's very
It is.
accepting of all people.
And then you had an opportunity to go and do your artwork, display your artwork somewhere else. I mean, you've really been on the go.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy how I had stopped working at the place where we worked together, and it was like a whole different type of motivation. And so, yeah, the art show that you're talking about was called The Art of Women, and that was in March. And that was actually my first show that I ever done.
Hmm.
Then I did Black Girl Art Show over the summer,
Okay.
and that was really interesting and fun and exhilarating, and that was amazing to see other Black women in your craft, and even there were Black men there who were helping out their counterparts, and it was just
Yeah.
the support within the community was amazing.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Because
then go ahead.
no, I was listening to what you were saying.
Oh, and then the last one that I did at Project Row House down
Yeah.
here in Houston. Yeah,
Hmm.
and I worked with my mentor Anthony Suber. He's actually a professor at the University of Houston, and he's has a residency at Project Row House as well. And he is a painter and sculptor um, artist. And so yeah, we had put together some masks, and the whole point of it was to talk about the intersections between our ancestors and healing, and the different artifacts and art and motifs that we use even back in ancient times, um, as healing, what I'm saying, and how and how those transfer down generation to generation, along with the pain that goes with that art. So the masks, like representing different types of representing Mother Nature and hunting, gathering, and spirituality, and we just explore those different things.
Oh, well, shouts out to his name again, Anthony.
Anthony Suber.
Okay, well, shouts out to Anthony Suber. I look forward to seeing his artwork as well. And as far as him being your mentor,
Yes.
I can see the growth in what you have
Mhm.
been doing. I really, it's so funny and so awesome how when you're on a journey and you meet people,
Mhm.
not knowing that you're going to end up collaborating with them and co-working with them and getting to know them, getting to know
Right.
what their art and their passion is, because you don't just do artistry, you have an eye for photography. I've seen
Yeah.
some
Well,
art.
yes, I have do all types of art. It's amazing how I kind of found this little field of creativity to kind of help heal myself. And so now, I like to give back. So I do photography, I do graphic designing, I do, painting, I do mixed media art, I do a little bit of everything. I've kind
Yeah.
of just kind of explored and dabbled in each one of those fields.
So would you say some of that pruning and some of that toning came from you being a veteran as well?
Yeah, yeah. What actually started, it actually started when I was in the military. Um, a lot of times, like when we were deploying, I would be in the. Everybody else was outside, talking, unwinding from our day, and I would be in the corner coloring. And
Okay.
everybody would go over there, and they're like, "Oh, okay, oh, that's for you're coloring." And I just be like, "Yep." And then from there, though, I started practicing my shading and my different colors and combined colors and stuff like that. I didn't know though, like, hey, 10 years later, you're gonna actually be an artist. I was just doing something to keep my mind occupied because I was sad. Away from my child, he was only 1 year old. I was a new mom, so I was just like, I need something to keep my mind occupied to stay healthy because I got a long journey ahead.
Yeah. And
I'm away from my family for a while.
what active service were you a part of? Army, right?
Yeah, I was in the army
Okay.
from 2006 to 2015, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see an art piece behind you. I'm fascinated
Yes.
with that, and I know that's one of yours. So,
Yes,
you know,
it's mine. Look,
you
I'm biased now. I can't put anybody else's art in my house now.
see, there you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. You
Yeah,
got to support yourself first. You want to put yourself out
absolutely.
there, and you want to be able to give back and show people that you're in your lane, but you can also have space for others.
Right.
You know,
For others as
and
well. Yes, yes.
yeah, have space for others, and the fact that you're growing in art. So when we talk about telling your stories through creativity, how do you see yourself telling your story majority of the time through your creativity?
Hmm. Well, I think of myself as more of an expressionist, abstract expressionist. So I like to use different blends of colors. And so like a lot of the things in colors you see like a lot of blues and purples and sometimes see a hint of green and every now and then you'll see a hint of red or like a bright pink in there somewhere, but you're always gonna see gold to kind of accent it. So like that's kind of like I don't know. I just like to explore different types of themes when it comes to our ancestors and symbols and just different things. So like I'm more of an intuitive artist. So it's like kind of like I feel the moment when I'm painting. And so there's a lot of different ways to kind of achieve that. But like, art has taught me to kind of slow down um, and kind of just be in the present moment. And because painting itself is not something that you can rush.
Hmm.
This is what a lot of people think. I tried to teach my daughter how to paint and drove me crazy because she kept paint each layer on top of each layer without allowing it to dry first. And I'm like,
Okay.
no, you have to be patient. There's a process. And just like with, when we're processing our emotions and going through things, we have to take things one day at a time. And so it taught me to like kind of slow down and kind of enjoy the moment. So when I paint, I'm in the present moment. I might be thinking, I might have 1,001 thoughts going through my head about the past, the future, but I'm actually really in the moment. So I kind of just kind of go with the flow of what I'm feeling, and I just go with it.
And see, that's something we know in the mental health industry. A lot of people don't know how to stay in the now. They don't know how to
Yeah,
stay in the moment.
it
It's like,
takes a lot of practice.
right, right. So there's like,
Yeah.
I'm here, but I need to be over here. I'm here, but I need to be over there. I'm here, but I need to be right here. But when you really sit there and stay in that moment, you will see so much that you be like, I don't need to go over there because I need to stay right
Mm-hmm.
here, because staying right here will allow me to be prepared to go over there. And when you're in that moment,
Yes.
it's preparation. It's preparation.
Preparation. Exactly. Yes. Yes.
And that's
Yes.
that's all it
Preparation.
is. It's preparation. And in that preparation, it can cause you to be separated from the things that are causing you to be in that now, in that moment, in that
Mm-hmm.
situation. You know, in a situation like right now, we're in the season of the holidays. I don't know
Right.
why, and I'm hoping you can help me understand this as a mental health advocate in
Mm-hmm.
my field. Why do people wait until these two specific holidays? These
Mm-hmm.
two. It's like
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving, well, actually three: Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. But we actually have four different holidays, which I really don't too much count, which is all Hell's Night, which is Halloween. But you have
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving, you have Christmas, and you have New Year's. And in my mind, because we know mental health starts with the mind first, in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
because you're so used to having family around, those three different holidays. So you got Thanksgiving, everybody's cooking. Christmas, everybody's giving gifts. New Year's,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's celebrating a new year with people that they love and care about, or either they're celebrating it by themselves. But then that's the greatest time when everybody is feeling the heaviest, the most,
Yeah.
besides Valentine's Day. But Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's is the most heaviest season of the year. And
Mm-hmm.
when I'm talking about it and I'm expressing it unapologetically, I've been told that I've been insensitive, but I'm not insensitive about something that you won't talk to me about. Talk to me about it so we can find out a solution to why you
Right.
don't have to feel so heavy during this time of the year. And
Right. Right.
you know me, grief counseling is my baby. I mean, I don't own it,
Mhm.
but
Right. That's
I
your specialty.
right. And the reason why it's my specialty, because I don't just do grief counseling based off you losing a loved one. I do grief counseling because grief
Right.
comes in so many compartments in life. Losing a
Right.
job,
Right.
changing careers, um, breaking up a relationship, your child moving and
Mm-hmm.
becoming an empty nester. A lot of people say, oh, grief is just because I lost a loved one. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. That's not
Anytime
the
you do
only.
something.
Anytime you do something different, is grief. Yeah.
Yeah.
And your child and grew up. It's so funny. Your child used to be 10, now your child 20, and you be like, oh Lord, where did the time go? Then you start feeling that. You
Yeah.
start feeling that. You're like, what did
That
I miss?
change.
Yeah, what did I miss about my
Mm-hmm.
child's life that now they're going off to college, or now they're going off to the military, or now they're getting married, or now they're getting engaged? That's a change of life. And if you are
Right.
not
Right.
prepared, then you're going to be sitting in the house soaking and sad. And it's like, I need my child back. So, ah, yeah, exactly.
Well, this time of year, actually, there's a lot of things that are kind of working against us during this time of the year that we don't even realize. I mean, you got the change in the season. It gets darker quicker. So you got, seasonal depression, and you got finances because it's the end of the
Yes.
year, and oh, I didn't complete this goal, I didn't complete that goal. Oh, Christmas is here now. I gotta figure out buy Christmas gifts, and it's like a lot of us have have gotten away from the meaning of the holidays, and what the purpose is not to stress you out more.
Right.
Not supposed to, at least. um it's to bring you together for and take a break, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
from society. But we've made everything into a business.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's a business, and it's all about money. And
Mm-hmm.
so, you know, now we're facing these expectations of what you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to be, and we're forcing relationships because it's the holidays.
Yeah, and I need a gift. I don't need no gift. The gift is my peace. That's what I need. That's my gift. Give me peace. Give me
It's
liberty and
the
give me peace.
well, the one thing that I think is heartbreaking, that I see a lot with older individuals, especially Black people, is that they
Oh,
wait until they get into their 50s and 60s, and they're just like, I've my whole life has passed by me, and I've been living in a bubble, and I didn't know this was going on, and that was happening, and now I don't know how to act. I don't know how to get over this. I don't know how to heal. How do I heal? I've been autopilot my whole life. I've been in survival mode my whole life. How do I heal? They're
yeah,
literally having a meltdown,
yeah, yeah.
and it's heartbreaking.
And I think that's when they say when you're going through what's that thing people say when you reach a certain age you're having a mental health
Midlife crisis.
your life crisis. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you
yeah.
realize that things have passed you by. Not to say that you can't get there, because we're so prone on timing, 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 and everything is not going to happen in your timing. It's not meant to happen in your timing. It's not
Right,
meant to happen
right.
when you expect it to happen, because you got to grow through some things in order to get there. That's why I'm loving.
Yeah.
I love my Jerry group. I love my geriatric group. I don't call them Jerry. I call
Yeah.
them seasonal citizens. I love
Yes, they
that's
are the
my part.
best.
Yeah, that's my part too. I love grief, but then I love my seasonal citizens, because I'm gonna tell you one thing I know about them is when they realize that life is like, hey, here I am in my 60s, my 70s, my 80s, and I have not experienced love. I'm seeing a lot of them getting married now because they're more stationary and stable. And
Hmm.
it's like
Hmm.
I want the companionship, but I want the partnership. And in that, I
Right,
know that this is going to help my mental as well,
right.
because now I'm mentally capable of understanding what a relationship really entails. I'm not, it's not about me per se, but it is about me. But I can share that time with somebody that
Hmm.
is grateful to be able to still be here above ground with me, you know. But
Right, right.
just like just like we were talking in the beginning about mental health and having the respect for those who do acknowledge that they're sad, they're depressed, that they're
Hmm.
that one of their 16 personalities then popped up that they didn't know that they had, just different stuff
At the
like that
wrong time, though.
at the wrong time. But just the geriatric, we, as this generation and as this community keeps growing, I'm finding out that there are more people out here in their 50s and above than what they
Hmm.
are in the younger, because the younger generation are leaving a lot faster than the older generation is. It's sad to
Yeah,
say.
it's weird how that happened. It's
Yeah.
kind of backwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's sad to say that. I heard it over and over again. What mom wants to, or what dad wants to bury their child before they leave. And that can be so very heartbreaking. And that right there, I've seen quite a few people who were healthy people that left away from here from a heartbreak because they lost a child.
Hmm. Yeah.
Heartbreak.
It happened. Yeah.
because they lost a
It's
child.
literally something that can happen. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Because you're expecting for that child to be there through the whole
Right.
season of their life. And then when their child is no longer there, then you're heartbroken and no one to talk to, no one to express, no one. And I miss groups. There used to be just so many groups out here that would help people. That's why
Mm-hmm.
in January, I believe, that is where I'm kicking back off my group sessions,
Okay.
for um, grief. And it's not just
Mm-hmm.
dealing with loss, it's dealing with different forms of grief. There
That's
could be
good.
a class dealing with the grief of losing a job and having to start another career,
Mm-hmm.
kid going off to
Right.
college,
That
you
transition.
know, yeah, the whole transition part. Graduating from high school, now
Mm-hmm.
you're an empty nester. Child going off to the military. I'm a military mom. My son is Army. I laugh when I tell people that I have a 35-year-old son, and they be like, "No, you don't. That's not possible." I do, and he's a veteran, and I respect him and I
Mm-hmm.
honor him. But I also want to be able to um, give back to our veteran community because yeah, there are things out here that veterans can have to help them with their mental health, but a lot of them don't even know where to go to get that. You
Yeah.
know, they go to the VA, true enough.
Right. Well, this is catch 22. I will say that being a veteran
Hmm.
and being in the mental health, I see where the VA have been trying to make strides towards implementing new and better mental health initiatives and
Hmm.
programs and stuff. But at the same time, there's still very much so a lapse in between the care and the communication with veterans, and even the level of care that they're able to provide. So I find it that it's good that we have a lot more like community organizations out there that are kind of making us more aware of some of the things that veterans might be going through, because a lot of them aren't going to speak up because they've spoken up and there hasn't been anything. No, there hasn't been any progress, and I've seen a lot of suicides because of that, because they're not being heard,
So
and
let's
so
let's talk about that too, because that is so prevalent when it comes to military, where the suicide rate is very high. And not having a voice to be able to say, hey, I need help, or finding out where that they can get their benefits, where they can get,
mhm,
their benefits from being in the military, and they think they have to be out here doing civilian jobs, and that's the only way that they
yeah,
can make it. But when you didn't serve this country for 4 years plus, you know,
mhm,
suicide, and I was expressing that to someone, when someone wants to commit suicide, they're not going to tell you that they're doing it.
no,
You
no,
and
it's
if you
like,
don't know how to look for the signs of someone wanting
mhm,
to commit suicide, it's going to bypass you until that person
mhm,
is no longer here. So
right,
the highest rate that I've seen is veterans.
mhm,
Then I believe the second one is somewhere in the LGBTQ plus community, because
mhm,
again, that's another community that a lot of people are judging, but you don't know their story. You don't know what's
right,
really going
right,
on and what they're processing and what they're going through, because every day that they wake up, every day that they
mhm,
go outside, every day they have to deal with the ignorance of people. And
right,
it's not like they're displaying everything that goes on in their bedroom out inside of public. They just love somebody differently the way you love people. And
mhm,
that right there, if we can show compassion to people, but we want them to be able to say that they agree with our lifestyle. And I made this statement before, and I'm gonna say it again. We're so quick to
mhm.
judge people, um, but we don't have a heaven or hell to put them in, because you don't know what I'm doing behind closed doors.
It's not our job.
Exactly.
That's not what we're put here on earth for.
Right.
To
So
judge
why you
others. We're only here
right.
to serve.
Right. So why you sitting up there judging a person based on their lifestyle? That's none of your
Right.
business.
Hold on 1 second. I gotta go get my charger.
Okay. Well, while you're doing
One
that,
second,
I'm gonna go.
please.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and what you can do is you can just put your screen on there, and I'm gonna show the events that we got going on. Um, so while Chanel is doing the stuff that she's doing in the background, I'm gonna go ahead and show you. So we have the Tonight is the Night Mental Health Symposium that is being hosted by Why He Can't. Of course, you know your girl Morticia Sherman is the unapologetic therapist that's a part of the Why He Can't program. That's December 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. And Chanel is the one who's hosting. Well, she's gonna do the painting your trauma on a canvas activity. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss that activity along with other activities that we have going on to bring out mental health awareness. I mean, what is it like painting something that you feel to freely express yourself on a canvas? You can find more information on our website at why he can't. That's the letter YHEC, the number 8nt.com, where you can apply for registration. You can register for that event. We're also looking for vendors who are really adamant and an advocate towards mental health and mental health awareness. Reach out to us. We have a good sedative, I think that's what they call it. For those who want to be vendors, spaces are limited. The space is limited for this facility because we were looking to really get out there in the community and impact the community, and just grow as we go on. We're not trying to fit 1,000 people in a room or 500 people in a room. We want this to be a great setting for people to be free to express themselves, free to talk about what it is that they have questions about. And then, you know, your girl likes to party. So that night, of course, we're doing a gala banquet inside of there where we're going to be eating, dancing, having fun, talking about different things, just enjoying it. And from the 14th, if you were there on the 14th and you were not able to find out information that you wanted to know about mental health and mental health awareness, come back and have breakfast with us. We have, well, brunch. We're having brunch that Sunday. That way you can come, ask your questions. I'm one, and I'm going to say this right now while Chanel is on here. I know a lot of times people always want to do stuff and give back and this, that, and the other. I will have Santa Claus there. If you're a big kid at heart and you want to take a picture with Santa, we will be giving away things. I don't like to say giveaways inside of there because a lot of times people just want to come for the giveaways. But I want you to come for the information. I want you to be empowered and impacted by the information. Then from there, of course, with Chanel being there, you can see on there, join us on December, actually the 13th and the 14th. The 14th is the workshop that we're having on there where we're doing the painting your trauma on the canvas, the workshop. It is a workshop. We're giving out information. They're great things that you'll be able to walk away with. Great things you'll be able to know about. And of course, she's hosting that time from 12 to 3. So that's limited time for you and it's free time to express. The supplies will be there. You don't have to worry about any supplies. The painting the paint and paintbrushes and the canvases are provided in your registration. Just go ahead and look for us on Eventbrite under Tonight's the Night Mental Health Symposium. You can go to that on Eventbrite. You can also find us on Facebook for that workshop. Then if you missed anything, your girl is always on the radio station. Say This in the Morning show. If you want to watch that, we're there Saturdays. I try and be there as many Saturdays as I can, because I'm out here in the community talking about mental health and whatnot. And then on February, let's say Love Month. February is Love Month. Let me tell you, I want And I said this last time when I was talking to a gentleman, and we were talking about the basketball tournament, the fundraiser. Come on out there with your hoochie daddy shorts on. Come on, just come on out there, put your jersey on. Your hoochie. You may find your wife out there or something if you're looking to be married and you over the age of 50. And I'm just playing. That's just the comical side of me, but it's a fundraiser. And in that, we want to be able to give back to the community, give back to those who are out here doing the same thing that I'm doing unapologetically, um, out here in the community, bringing out mental health awareness, being out there, letting you know what's out here for us, by us, and to let you know that mental health is serious. It is very serious. Register your team 18 up, because it is a tournament where you're winning a cash prize. So the top three teams will win a cash prize. And in that top three teams of winning that cash prize, we're donating to the top three winners of our nomination the same amount we would give for the top three teams that win. So what that amount will be, it depends on your participation. I know it's going to be more than $500 for first place, but just know that it's all going towards a worthy cause. So now we have Chanel back. Hey, Chanel. So I had to give out that bit of information for that, and the fact that you are a value asset to what we're doing with this mental health industry. Um, I was having a conversation with my coach, and I paused that because for you know about the fact that we talked about it at work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we were talking about how people really don't want to talk about mental health, and I was saying because of the fear of people judging and people
Mm-hmm.
having that mindset of, if you say that you're depressed and you're sad, then something's wrong with you. When in all actuality, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that at all. Because when you become psychotic, that's when we worry. So what we mean by being
Right.
psychotic, that means you're self-harming yourself. You're doing harmful behavior
Mm-hmm.
to others, to yourself, to your family, to people around
Mm-hmm.
you, to animals, to just that's when the flags, that's when the triggers really happen. That's when we have
Right.
to address the matter. But because you're
That's the
having,
crisis.
right, well, but because you are
Mm-hmm.
a work person who works and still have a mental health issue, doesn't mean that something's wrong with you. It's just that you're experiencing something and you went to get it addressed. That's all. That's all.
Yeah.
I used to say in the hospital that I worked at, there are four different type of mental health patients. Four.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I may want to jump into five, but I knew it was four. And when I was doing the training,
Categories keep popping up.
all right. So when I was doing the training for people who were coming into the hospital, because I was, patient advocate, court liaison, mental health person, I was a tech, all these other things, and I learned
Mm-hmm.
four different ways. You have your number one, and the number one is people like us. We have mental health issues, but we don't have medication. We're functioning, and we're high functioning mental health individuals. But then you have number two, they're functioning mental health people, but they have to take medication to taper off that anxiety, to taper
The
off
symptoms.
the symptoms. But then you have
Mm-hmm.
the third one who every so often they will go and check themselves into a mental health hospital because they are experiencing something where the medication is not tapering off the symptoms.
Right.
They're
Right.
functioning, but it's not tapering off the symptoms. So they have to go
Mm-hmm.
back inside of that facility. Just, I call it a readjustment, to be readjusted.
Right.
But then you
Right.
have
Right.
the number four, The fourth one are the ones that are medication is not helping. They have to go in for days at a time, but they know that that's
They're
the
aware.
issue. Or
Yeah, they're aware of it.
yeah, so they want the help, but then they're so used to being, I want to say, pacified in a way. Of
There's
if I have a psychotic episode, I already know what's going to happen. I'm going to go inside a facility. I can eat,
like
sleep.
institutionalized.
Right, right. It's a different form
Hmm.
of
Yes,
institutionalization. It's a different form.
correct.
They're being institutionalized because they need that safety net. They need that food because
Correct.
they're not eating, they're not taking their medication,
They
they're not
can't
doing
provide it on their own.
exactly, exactly.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
those are the four, but I was going to hone in on five.
What was the fifth one?
Caregivers that are in denial.
um, yeah, those are unfortunate actually,
Yeah,
because yeah, burnout is real.
it is.
Compassion fatigue is real.
Yes, it is.
Yes, and
It
healers need
is.
healers.
It's,
Hmm.
and that is another reason why the symposium is happening, because I want
Right.
caregivers to know that, yeah, you're providing care for them, but what about you? And it's not a what about you so you can be selfish about caring for your loved one, but it's the what about you to say, I can take a break, and there are facilities out here. There are locations that I can send my loved one to
Hmm.
just to get away. And there's also organizations that will come in to your home if you're willing to let them come into your home and give you a day or two to go and do some things for you.
Right. 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 I
But they
think a
don't
lot
know
of it is that. Well, a lot of it is too is that a lot of people don't feel safe.
that. Yeah.
They don't trust the general public, and so and then also a lot of people don't realize there's more than one avenue to heal.
Mhm.
So while like the most popular one is what get on medication and go to therapy, that doesn't help, doesn't work for everybody. So it's good that we have that you're doing the mental health symposium so that they can see what options are out there for them. They can see what resources are out there. They can see that they're supported. They can see that they're in a safe environment, so that they're able to kind of, really take a good look at ourselves, because a lot of those four types of mental health issues that you named, four different types of mental health issues, five actually, I'm sorry, they're all stuck in a pattern. They're all stuck in autopilot, most of them. And so a lot of times we don't see where we can go at and where we're hurting ourselves at as well. So
Mhm.
like you said, creativity, telling your story, all that goes into play, because it's like if you hear somebody else's story, sometimes we might want to, hey, I related, I connected with that. Like, can you help me with that? And I get that a lot. And so, like, events like the mental health symposium brings awareness to those type of issues, to those type of
Yeah.
stigmas as well.
And that's the thing, the breaking the stigma. Breaking
Hmm.
stigmas, eradicating those stigmas, breaking them to where you can know that you're in a safe space. Even if you don't have a
Correct.
mental health issue, but if you're caring for a loved one who have a mental health issue, it may not be a loved one, it could be a friend, an enemy that you've seen that is having a mental health breakdown. You know, getting them that
Correct.
support and that help, and letting them know that it's a safe space and that you're not talking about them or judging them because they are not. I, do away with the word normalcy. Nobody is normal. No
There's
one
no such thing as normal.
is
Nah,
normal.
especially nowadays, especially the
Right.
internet, we see that now. Some of the things that people do on the internet, they should probably keep in their bedroom away from the camera. So there's no
Exactly.
such thing as normal. It doesn't
Exactly.
exist anymore.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. But can we normalize mental health? Can we normalize mental health services? Can we normalize getting the support that you need to
And
let you
stop
know that
normalizing
you
suicide, though.
ah.
Stop normalizing suicide, because that is not an exit.
So as the unapologetic therapist, I get livid, for lack of better words, when we see celebrities talk about mental health and mental health disorders. And we get on there and it's like, oh, sorry you lost your loved one. Sorry you do this. You sorry. But when you find someone who is not a celebrity status and not on TV, not on radio, not on this, and they tell you that they're having mental health issues, you don't respond at all.
Yeah.
You don't say nothing at all. What about those who don't have an audience?
Right.
What about those
Well,
who
those
don't
ones that
have?
are not being heard.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yeah.
where I have to kick the suffering and silence in the face. Because
Yeah.
when we see people who on TV lose loved ones, commit suicide, this, that, and other, oh, we just really want to be out there advocating. It becomes a hot topic. And I'm doing this
It's a
unapologetically. I
trend.
really am. Yeah. So untrend that and trend the fact that you have kids out here who are being bullied, that are committing
Mm.
suicide. You have parents who are
Mm.
bullying kids who are making them commit suicide. You have teachers who are bullying kids and making them commit suicide. And you also have, they already dealing enough with social media. So
Man.
let's go for it. Let's take the
Mm-hmm.
normalcy out of things and make things to where people can live life again and enjoy life and be creative.
Right.
I honestly, when I say I love art, I've seen kids in schools draw amazing things. I've had kids be like, hey, can you draw me this? I just really want you to draw me something. And just the creativity and you responding to them
It
with,
matters so much.
exactly.
It matters so
Exactly.
much.
Because
That
they're
little
not
bit of
getting it.
attention. It just accepting their pictures. Because I work
Yeah.
in school, and accepting their pictures is the world to them.
Yeah. Because you're accepting something somebody else is not doing for them. And I say this all
Possibly
the time.
yes.
When I'm in
Mm-hmm.
public and I meet someone, I always smile. If they want a hug, I'm going to hug them because that one smile and that one hug can stop them from going home and killing themselves or doing something detrimental to themselves because now they see somebody really authentically care for them
Mm.
and it gives them an extra push to move forward, to keep going. It gives them that.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
So when I say be selfless in self care, like I say again, we are not here for ourselves. We're here to help someone else out.
Right.
And
Right.
until we get that full understanding, the rates of suicide, the rates of domestic violence, all these rates are going to continue to grow because people are still in this judgment zone of I'm going to judge
Right.
you because you don't know what I'm doing behind closed doors. So that's the purpose behind the symposium. That's the purpose why I get out in the community. That's the purpose why when somebody asks me, can you come and talk, to the ladies? Can you come talk to the men? Can you come talk to families? Can you come talk to this? I do that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I want to make money, true enough, because I need to pay my bills. I do have a mortgage and a truck note.
Right.
But my passion too is to make sure that people are aware and they're getting the awareness and they're getting the information. I can't service everybody, but those that I can service, I'm doing it with all due diligence to let you know that people are out here advocating, rooting for you, being your superhero,
Right.
being everything that you need. And that's what this symposium is for. We're
Right.
out here rooting for you. We're cheering you on. We want you to have the mental health awareness that you need because we know everything starts with the mind. So when you're dealing with the mind, come on out. Be creative. Paint
Right.
your trauma on the canvas
Yeah,
and do
come paint
these
your
other
trauma on the canvas.
activities.
It, and even if you don't know what you need to paint or what you want to paint, just come out, let go, release, breathe, and just take it one moment at a time.
Yeah, do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. And just come out and have fun. Come out and have fun. Again,
Right, have fun.
right. I appreciate you so much for taking this opportunity, taking your time out. I know you're out for the
Yes,
holidays,
ma'am.
for the Thanksgiving holidays. Don't eat too much turkey. I am so ready to paint my trauma on a canvas. I will be in the
I can't
activity
wait.
because I honestly I can't tell somebody to do something that I'm not doing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's the best part about being an artist and working in mental health field is that I practice what I preach because it's healing to myself.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, exactly. And I have to laugh at myself because I have in my office, I have a whole setup of all kind of stuff that I can be creative with, and I'll be looking at it like, ooh, man,
Listen.
I know Chanel would get on me if she saw all this that I can in my office to be very artsy, to be very,
Listen,
into.
you gotta take a moment to yourself and you gotta just be like, I'm gonna go do this real quick. The next 15 minutes. You'd be surprised what you can create in 15 minutes.
And you're right. Because when I was in California last year, no, this year for Mother's Day, I took some
Hmm.
canvas with me. My granddaughter had paint, and we sat there and we painted. And
Nice.
it was, it was a bonding time for her and I. Even though
Yes.
at the time she was 2, but she was doing what she do. But
Right,
watching
right,
her helped me, and it made me very creative, and I got that spark.
right,
And that's what I'm seeing. Your creativity may not be painting. It could be writing music, writing poetry. We want you to
you
come
crafting.
out, and yeah, we want you to come out and just have a different experience. Know that you're not by yourself in this. Know that you're not alone. You're never alone in anything because it's always
Right,
somebody who then went through it before you went through it, and then there's going to be somebody that's going to go through it after you went through it. So you will be able to help them out,
right.
just the same as the person who went through it before you can help you out. We got to break this stigma. This
Cycle.
stigma got to be broken. It's got to be broken.
Yes, all of it needs to be broken. Yes,
Yeah,
all it is the history just repeats itself, and so just like all the oppression, it repeats itself. So does the healing, and
yeah.
we just have to tap right back into that, reconnect with our environment, reconnect with nature, with our inner child, and you know,
Hmm.
just
Exactly.
got to bring back
Exactly.
awareness to it.
Well, Chanel, you're one of my girls. Always a pleasure to
As
talk
you
to
are as
you.
well.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you. When we talk, it's like we catch right on up to where we stop, and,
Yep.
and we can laugh about it and whatnot. I am so proud of you. Like I said, being a part of your um, painting adventure in March, it was breathtaking, and it was so great to see your masterpieces on that wall for display. And
Thank
Mr. Anthony, shout out to you, your mentor, because he is making a real good impact on you. I really
you. Hmm.
appreciate you being creative and being you, and that's what it's really about: being unapologetically, authentically yourself. Because if you're
Absolutely.
somebody else, nobody will be able to know who you really are.
Right. Right. You
So
can be you.
oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. December 14th, you better come
Right.
on out there, you guys. Those who are listening,
Yes,
come on
ma'am.
out there and put your trauma on that canvas, and come on paint with us.
Right. Come have some fun.
Right. And
Get a little
registration,
messy a little bit.
exactly. Don't put on your best clothes
Mhm.
on that day. I should have some aprons for people to put on.
Right.
And I want to
Right.
make sure I have a good head count of those who are going to be there. You still have time to register. Those who want to register, you can go on Eventbrite, make your payment on there. And the best part about what Why He Can is doing, we're covering the taxes. So the ticket is just that: the $55 for general admission, $75 for VIP. You cannot go to a symposium or a conference for that price and get everything that you're getting from us.
No.
You can.
Mm-mm.
So
Mm-mm.
next year, Hey, we're looking to do a retreat next year, but you never know. Prices could be, and you come that day and you'll be able to get the discounted prices for next year. So just be prepared.
Right.
Chanel, I really thank you. Thank you for coming in and shining your
Well,
light.
thank you for having me. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes, yes. Well, that's it for us tonight. We really appreciate you joining in. You will be able to see the replay, of course, on YouTube as well as Facebook. Chanel, how can they reach out to you too? That's what I meant to say. How can people reach out to you
Um.
if they wanted a painting lesson?
Oh well. The easiest way is to reach out to me is on IG or TikTok. At Art by Chanel Yvonne. Um. And I'll give you all the information so you can post it. But yeah, reach out on me, send me a DM, and I'll send you the link to where you need to go to sign up, and go from there.
Oh yeah, yeah. We gonna be doing on a whole lot of painting together with people.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, of course, you know how you can reach your girl Morticia on IG. You can also reach me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, of course, TikTok, LinkedIn. I'm posting information every day about mental health awareness. You can go on Why He Can't website, and that's www.whyhecan't, the letter Y, HEC, the number 8NT, .com. You'll also see Chanel's logo is going to be there as one of our advocate sponsors on there. I love Chanel.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, be a part of the event. Don't say you missed it, because if you miss it, you may miss the great thing ever where you can look at your trauma on
Right.
that canvas. Um, and just be a part of what's going on. Reach out to your girl. Let me know if you want to be a part of it. Like I said, if you want to be a vendor and you know you have something to offer the mental health community, let us know. Let me know. I'm looking for vendors who really want to get out there and show people the love that they need to see, and be a part. Help us break the stigma when it comes to
Mhm.
and mental health awareness.
Right.
Don't suffer in silence, and don't let nobody around you suffer in silence. Okay.
Absolutely.
So we will see you next Wednesday. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Leave some
Thank
turkey
you.
for
Happy
everybody.
Thanksgiving.
Right? Leave some turkey for everybody. I set up there and I told my clients today I'll make me some fried chicken and red beans and rice because I know everybody else gonna have turkey. So
Oh yeah. Listen, we're making steaks on the grill. Okay, we're not doing turkey.
can we not do this?
We're not doing turkey. We don't want to. We're not doing all that. Okay.
Right, right.
It's
I
not.
let everybody else cook. I go eat. I'm not taking no
That
plates away either. I'm not taking
look,
no
you
plates
work hard
away.
enough. This
I
is
don't
my
want no leftovers.
vacation week.
I don't want no leftovers.
Mm-mm. I don't
Nah.
know leftovers either. Mm-mm, no, no.
All right, Chanel. Thank you. Much love to
Thank
you, and I
you.
will talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, you guys. You have seen it. Be a part of it. Um, Thank you for joining in for another segment. Tonight was telling your story through creativity. We are having a mental health symposium that is happening on December 13th is registration and icebreaker. 14th is the symposium. Of course, Chanel was on here talking about painting your trauma on a canvas. And then we're going to party that night. And then we're going to come back and we're going to have brunch and open discussions about mental health and mental health awareness. I hope you can participate and be a part. Of course, you can go on Eventbrite and register. You can also go through Facebook and register under Morticia Sherman, the unapologetic therapist. We on there for events. Again, Chanel is going to be there doing a paint your trauma on a canvas workshop. If you missed today's information, I'll see you on Saturday, hopefully, for the Saved and Silly Morning Show with my girl Erica B and Tanzi Raquel. These two ladies are fire. I love them for everything that they do, and I love them for the support they give. And then, if you're not able to be at any of these events, go to the Why He Can't website. We do have a donation button. If you want to be able to give donations of any size, we accept them, because we're about getting the word back out there for mental health. And then April, of course, I'm sorry, February, of course, is Love Month. We're doing For the Love of Basketball and Mental Health, where we're hosting a basketball tournament, and the top 3 teams will win a cash prize. And that cash prize that they win, we're doing a nomination for some organizations or companies that are just starting out, that are out here impacting the community for the mental health awareness, and doing it unapologetically. The top 3 nominations will also win a cash prize. So get at your girl. It is Morticia Sherman, the unapologetic therapist. Let me tell you, mental health starts with the mind. When you change your mind, you change your behavior. That's all I got to say. Love you, and I love you to life and mean it.